President Hitt had said, I am very pleased to talk about the University of South Florida. And I think it's one of the best universities in the country. We have, it's a system, we have 4 campuses, and for the purposes of this discussion, I'm going to be discussing primarily the research-intensive campus, where we have 40,000 students, and out of the 47,000 across the system. So this year we welcomed our freshmen at an SAT of 1203 and a GPA of 3.91. We are very pleased that we have Marshall Scholars and Goldwater Scholars and Provost Scholars, and we are the highest enrollment of veterans in the state. And when there was a data that came out about the most veteran-friendly institutions across America, USF ranked number 5 among those institutions. So I said, well, who is first? I wanted to know who is first. And it is a Florida institution. It was Embry-Riddle. So we're going to try to be number 1, as we always do. We have a very high percentage of first-generation students and a very high percentage of Pell Grant and federal loan students, part-time students with high financial need, and we have a large number of students that need to work while they're going to school. So you'll find that our demographics as a city, as an urban institution, is one that takes in a very diverse population, and we're very pleased to do so. And we're also pleased to see students with limited resource ability have the opportunity to move on and to succeed. We award upward of 11,000 degrees annually, and we, according to the data that you have in your OPAGA report, we're the 3rd highest producer of STEM degrees in the SUS, and our alums remain mainly in Florida. But if you look at 2008 and 2009, in terms of the number of STEM degrees that are awarded, we have risen substantially to number 2 in the state. We have more students enrolled in distance learning than other SUS institutions in 2010 and 2011. When you look at our research base, you will find that we are a top tier, which is a very high research and intensive program. And our goal for the University of South Florida is to be the next AAU eligible institution in the state. Right now, there is only one AAU institution, and our goal is to be the second. We have a very, very intensive research program. You'll find that in our enrollment, we have 75% of our students are undergrad and the rest are grad. That is typical of a research-intensive university. We have been ranked and cited by the Chronicle of Higher Ed and as the fastest growing research university in the United States over the past decade. The amount of research that we bring in every year is approximately $400 million of research. And that is number 2 in the state, and it's number 2 whether you're looking at privates or publics. And as President Hitt had mentioned in terms of how the origins of UCF got started, I would just like to brief you a little bit on how the University of South Florida got started, because it really has weighs in on how we see our portfolio today. When the universities below Tallahassee and Gainesville were the fourth university, public university, to have been founded, with UF as the land grant. FSU at that time was a women's college, and then FAMU was the historic black college, also land grant. We were the next college or next university to get started, and in our charter was 1956, but our first class came in 1960. And why is this important? We were south of Tallahassee and south of Gainesville. That's how we got our name, the University of South Florida, even located in the Tampa Bay area. What is important is that our first student came in 1960, and the Board of Regents, when other universities started to come online, the Board of Regents at that point said, we are going to specialize, have our university specialize. And the Board of Regents said, University of South Florida, you are going to be the health university. You are going to feature health sciences and medical. And what they did then is we had a medical school that, while we had our first students start in 1960, our medical school started in 1970. So with that came the number of students in medical degrees, public health. We have, of course, nursing, physical therapy, pharmacy, and we have just expanded in the world of health, so that if you look at our university, you're going to find health is throughout our university. If you look at our engineering program, you'll see a lot of medical engineering and rehabilitation engineering, where we have wheelchairs that stand the person up so that they can reach a top shelf, and will bring them back down. We work throughout our university, and yes, we do energy, and yes, we do other areas as well, but even in the schools, if you look at the obesity today, what you need is our School of Public Health, or our College of Public Health, goes to our College of Education and works with them on health issues, nutritional issues, what to do, how to make things, how to prevent obesity, and et cetera. And I say that because we do so much work in the University of South Florida that's interdisciplinary. So when you look at the kind of programs that are very, I would say, differentiate the University of South Florida from many of our sister institutions. One of the areas is diabetes and autoimmune disorders. We have some of the key researchers in America. One of our researchers in particular just brought in a $55 million grant from NIH, and over his career he's brought in $400 million just in his area of diabetes and autoimmune disorders, and the work that he does goes throughout the world, and it's based at USF. Another area is cancer research. As you know, we have Moffitt Cancer Center, which is a separate institution in the middle of our campus. Well, we're the academic home for the Moffitt Cancer Center, and we have a lot of work that we do together, including cancer biology, and our students are often working in internships and practicum experiences at Moffitt Cancer Center. We also, across our street and held together a walkway is a bridge, we have the busiest veterans hospital in America. It is not the busiest, not the biggest, it's the busiest. It's a polytrauma center. And so we work very, very closely with our veteran hospital, and we are really key in veterans reintegration, because we have so many soldiers coming back now with a variety of illnesses, mental illnesses as well as physical illnesses. So we work very closely with that polytrauma center. Also, we have integrated neurosciences. And the neurosciences include Alzheimer's. It includes any kind of brain repair, stroke, anything that deals with Parkinson's and those kinds of. And we do have, of course, the Florida Alzheimer's Center on our campus as well. We also have a Shriners Hospital on our campus that works with children who have orthopedic issues. So you can see that there is a conglomerate of health surrounding our campus and on our campus, and across the street is Florida Hospital. So we work together, and if you look at the map, the campus map, you will see the acreage that health has on the University of South Florida. The other interdisciplinary area that we view as one of our strengths and one of our identifiers as uniqueness is a sustainable, healthy community, whether it's water issues, huge amount of research in freshwater and saltwater. And we are also the home for the Florida Institute of Oceanography, which is a consortium of 20 different members of public and private members around the state. So we house the research vessels, and we're the first out when the Gulf oil spill occurred. We were out there. When we heard about it, we were out there. And it services all of the universities throughout the state. But our marine sciences is just phenomenal. So we look at water, we look at clean energy, we look at public health, we look at marine science, and the other one in terms of healthy, sustainable communities, we have the Center for Urban Transportation Research. And this is all about the best modes of transportation. We have just received a $3.5 million grant from the University Transportation Center, and we're working in collaboration with Florida International University, the University of Illinois Chicago, and North Dakota State on this particular grant. So those are the areas that differentiate us, but we have fabulous schools of business and education and music and all the rest. Now, we have something that we think is very important, and that is something that President Hitt mentioned as well. Being an urban university, it is so important to have partnerships. And so I would agree with him that partnerships are really the theme for this coming, I'd say, if it's at least 5 years out. It's talking about industry partnerships. It's talking about partnerships with hospitals, to partnerships with the city. Economic development is key. You look at a university, look at any big city, and you will find a great, important university. Think of any big city and find one that doesn't have an important university. That's part of the economic development. It's part of who we are. In terms of our student success, we are very pleased that we are the home for the Florida College Access Network. And what that does, it promotes access and educational opportunities from kindergarten all the way through college. And we work in partnership with the Helios Foundation and the Lumina Foundation on this particular project. USF is committed to the goal of 2025 that we have 60% of all of our students having a post-secondary credential. And it's talking about college preparedness from K through 12, so they're ready to come into college. in terms of STEM, we deliver a broad array of STEM degrees at the undergraduate as well as the graduate level. Now, our STEM degrees, rather than being more space related, it is more health related. And if you look back in the history of, say, the high-tech corridor, which is a huge successful project for the state, the high-tech corridor, you would see that the two institutions that were the founders of this high-tech corridor, one was vested in the space industry and simulation, and the other was vested in health. And so through the High-4 corridor, it made a lot of sense for us to work collaboratively together, and we still do. And you now know that University of Florida has entered that high-tech corridor too. When we look at the STEM, however, we have some, we look at the challenges of STEM and we're looking at some solutions. One of the things that USF is very active in is pre-college. We look at a STEM Summer Academy that we are hosting, and we're trying to build not just the pipeline, but the passion for STEM courses and STEM degrees. We have a really fantastic oceanographic summer camp for girls in particular, and that is something that we've been doing this for years and years, and it is to build the passion and to build the pride. We also have the College of Education in partnership with the College of Arts and Sciences and Engineering and Marine Sciences. We have additional grants from NSF and the Helios Foundation to work with our state colleges and try to build in the state colleges the interest of students to transfer when they're ready and they have their degrees to transfer into our STEM degree programs, and that's been very successful. In terms of recruiting and retention and success, we have a STEM Mart. It's an NSF-funded learning and tutorial center to improve student success in calculus and physics. And that also, again, is a very successful program, but it is a grant-funded program, and when that grant runs out, we'd sure like the capability of being able to sustain that kind of program.